You will not be able to resist it. And how could you resist a city that has reveled in brilliance for so many centuries? It is a city that reminds you of the wonderful beauty of past times. Each part of it has a unique charm to it, and the ability to allure whoever comes by it. Casablanca. It is the largest city in Morocco, and the third largest city in Africa in terms of population after Lagos and Cairo. It was known as Anfa. However, the Portuguese would have it named Casablanca because of a tall whitewashed structure they observed there. After the arrival of the Spaniards, it would be called Casablanca. Moroccans would call it Casa as an abbreviated name and a sign of endearment. Casablanca was named الدار البيضاء during the reign of the Alawi Sultan Sayyid Mohammed bin Abdullah. You can feel your heart rejoice in the ever-present momentum of its history. It is a white rose in a garden of velvety roses. It includes the largest airport in the country and hosts its most important port as well. It is the main center of Morocco's economy. Throughout history, both ancient and modern, Casablanca has played an important role because of its strategic location, which overlooks the Atlantic Ocean and is close to the continent of Europe. It played a vital role in the wars and conflicts that waged on in the region, with the Second World War being the most notable of them. The city has gained great fame because of the classic American film, Casablanca, which was filmed in the city. It is one of the most famous films made in the 20th century. Historical studies indicate that the first historical recollection of the city of Casablanca dates back to nearly 1,000 years BC. Numerous archaeological expeditions have indicated the presence of ancient monuments that belong to the ancient inhabitants of the region. Among the most important people that inhabited the region were the Phoenicians, the Romans, and the Berbers. During the rule of the Carthaginians, Casablanca was an important trade center. While the city was the capital of the Bargawadas during the Middle Ages, in the year 768 AD, the Berber Arabs founded the city and named it Anfa. This city had a major role in breaking the siege that was imposed on Muslims by the Spaniards on the Green Island in 1278. At the time, the Spaniards besieged the Green Island by land and sea, and Sultan Yaqub ibn Abd al-Haq sent his soldiers to put an end to this siege. This took place from resisting Muslim forces who sought victory and wrote to him to intervene and aid them. History books state that Anfa greatly contributed to the battle which led to the ending of this siege that was placed on the Muslims on the Green Island. It had allocated 15 fleets that were arranged at the port of Ceuta, which would then advance towards Tangier and spread out into the sea. In 1279, this army was able to defeat the enemy at sea, and they seized their fleets. This occurrence allowed the Muslims in the Green Island to rejoice as their enemies had been defeated, and were forced to flee from their lands. The Muslims would spread through the various parts of the area, whether they be men, women, or children. Since the independence of the state of Morocco in the year 1956 AD, the city has developed and matured, a beautiful city that prospered with time. In it, the largest airport in Morocco can be found, the King Mohammed V International Airport. It also contains the largest port in Morocco, which is a port designated for trade. There are a variety of industries present within it, such as the automotive industry, electronics, textiles, and food production industries. Its stock exchange is the third largest in Africa, after the stock exchange of Johannesburg and Cairo. It is the third largest stock exchange in the Arab world after the Riyadh Stock Exchange and the Cairo Stock Exchange. The city of Casablanca is a beautiful and serene city. It does not actively invite people to visit it or traverse its old paths and streets. It asks of no one to repair the wrinkles present on its surface that have been left by the passing of time. It simply waits for those who will come to embrace and nurture it. It waits for it to be visited and enchant the hearts of those who view it, whether they be locals or tourists, and for its tale to be told by thousands, as it was once before. The city is well aware that there are very few who are not captivated by the beauty it beholds. It will enchant you as long as you stand upon its land, and you will feel a sense of melancholy as you realize that you do not belong to it. Day after day, you realize how much you need this city. On a beach behind the northern edge of Casablanca, or the Old City, the Hassan II Mosque can be found towering over the entire city. It was completed in 1993, and it is the 7th largest mosque in the world, as it covers an area of 2 hectares. It has the 2nd tallest minaret in the world at 210 meters. The prayer hall can accommodate about 25,000 worshippers, and the courtyard, which has a retractable roof, can accommodate another 80,000 people. The mosque provides the opportunity for Muslims to pray on a glass floor, which is a unique experience, as they had the opportunity to pray directly above the sea. The decor is breathtakingly intricate and covers every centimeter of the structure. Those who are not Muslim can visit the mosque on guided tours. Everyone is invited to enjoy the beautiful architecture of the mosque at any time. The Old City welcomes everyone, an old neighborhood built on the model of old Moroccan cities. It is surrounded by many walls, of which not many remain today. It includes several gates that can be entered, the most famous of which is the Marrakesh Gate. Today, the city is a popular commercial market and contains many shops, houses, historical monuments, and mosques. The Old City also contains many narrow alleys, white houses, and it also contains many historical buildings. Some of these buildings include the Siqala and the Dome of Sidi Bousamra. You can also enjoy the palaces, and among them is the King's Palace, which is one of the most important tourist sites in Casablanca. It has a wonderful architectural style, It combines Arab Islamic authenticity with Western elegance that the colonial culture added to the Moroccan city. It was redesigned with a French flair during the 1930s. This, in addition to elegant and maintained flowering orchards and wonderful waterways, can be found here. The palace is located in the Habous neighborhood, which is also known as the New City, which is the city of Casablanca after its renovation and reconstruction. It is the second most important royal palace in the country, after the palace of the capital, Rabat, where the royal family will sometimes reside and host their guests, which include rulers and diplomats from other countries. In addition to this, they hold inaugurations and important events that the country experiences. Otherwise, the palace does not permit visitors or tourists to enter it. One can only take photographs of the astonishing and magnificent entrance. Its style, design, and surrounding courtyard that are set away from the security barriers are marvelous. On a moonlit night, you can visit the Gate of Marrakesh, which is the main gate and entrance to the old city of Casablanca. It is distinguished by its wonderful designs that combine Moroccan Islamic arts and ancient European arts. The history of the construction of the Gate of Marrakesh in Casablanca dates back to the Middle Ages. It was built in conjunction with the establishment of the Old Palace, to act as a gateway to it. It still holds great importance, as it is one of the landmarks of the city, which remained in place after the earthquake that struck the country in the year 1775. When you stand at the Gate of Marrakesh in Casablanca, you will witness the massive edifice and the multiple variations of decorative inscriptions that it beholds. They are carved perfectly to imitate the historical gates of France and Italy. However, it is done while maintaining the spirit of Islamic arts. Near it, you will find many carts and street vendors. At the end of it, you can turn towards Mohammed V Street, which is one of the most sprawling and important commercial centers in the country. The Mohammed V Street was founded in the year 1915 by the French, who aimed to link the Casablanca train station to the United Nations Square. It is distinguished by its wonderful designs and old French character. In the year 2009, a tram station was established in it. Today, it is one of the biggest tourist attractions, visited by millions annually. When you wander around the Mohammed V Street, you can witness the magnificent buildings that in their construction and architectural design blend Andalusian Islamic traits with that of old European traits, French and Italian to be specific. This applies to the Habous neighborhood. It is one of the best tourist areas in Morocco, and it is highly recommended that one visits it. There, you can explore the distinctive cultural and heritage sites and the essence that Morocco is famous for, and what distinguishes it from other Arab tourist destinations. The ancient historical neighborhood is located in the heart of the city of Casablanca, to the north of the Kingdom of Morocco. It was designed by French architects during the colonialism in 1917 for a period of 10 years. They derived its details from the Moroccan motifs that characterize the neighborhoods and streets of Fez and Marrakesh, with their white buildings and houses. The Habous neighborhood is famous to this day as it hosts the Royal Palace, which is the jewel of tourism in Casablanca. It has distinct arches, fences, shade-providing trees that line along the sides of its ancient alleys. It hosts traditional stores that sell traditional Moroccan clothes and shoes. There are other stores that sell famous Moroccan sweets and handmade souvenirs made of silver and copper. There are also libraries, bookshops, printing and publishing houses that sell historical and modern publications regarding various fields. Let us end this tale with Mahkama al-Pacha. It is the parliamentary and judicial building that is also designated to host the most important of ceremonies and official occasions. It is one of the most important architectural landmarks in the city. It was built and decorated by the hands of Morocco's most brilliant craftsmen under the direction of the French architect Auguste Cadet. He was enamored by Moorish architecture and designed the building following Moroccan Andalusian architectural guidelines, similar to the Andalusian palaces and mosques present in Granada. During the construction of the Mahkama, he used traditional resources and materials such as gray and white marble, cedarwood, limestone, and gypsum. Its ceilings were decorated with ornaments, carved wood, and stucco arches. The decision to build the Mahkama was ordered in January of 1930 by Tayyib al-Mukri, the Pasha of Casablanca at the time. It was he who selected Habous to be the location where it would be constructed. It would be transformed into the seat of the Casablanca Sitat Region Council, and it retained its elegance, authenticity, and loftiness. It is a destination that tourists seek out, standing in astonishment at its unique architecture, which made it an architectural masterpiece. Here you are in the city that was meant for you and you alone. It's hard not to be enamored by it, as here you are free.